Maybe not. Okay, so for the digestive tract, we have two models. This totally freaks me out every time. I refer to this one as Patrick, and this one is just the layers of the ileum. Okay, so in your intestinal wall, we have two models, and the first thing we need to notice are the four major layers. We have the mucosa, we have the submucosa, we have, I'm missing one. No, the muscularis externa, and the adventitia serosa, which is down here. So 4 layers. Within the submucosa, we have the epithelium. Just underneath that is the lamina propria. Within the lamina propria, we have our arterial and venous structures. We also have our lacteals. Now the lacteals are part of the lymphatic system, as we discussed last week. However, within the intestinal wall, the lacteals are there specifically to absorb fats, and they move into the lymphatic system and then back into circulation. So as we talked about in class, so like an hour after you eat like an awesome fatty hamburger, you will have little fat droplets in your blood. It's really kind of crazy. So that is in our lamina propria, and then underneath that we have the muscularis mucosa. And we have 2 layers. We have 2 layers in the muscularis externa and 2 layers in the muscularis mucosa. One, we have a circular layer that basically goes around like this because it's tubular structure, and then we have one that's longitudinal. And this allows, I want you to picture a tube of toothpaste where you both squeeze and then roll up. It's the same thing, unless you're my husband and then you just squeeze and drive me crazy. So we know that this is the ileum because the ileum is the largest. That and the don't jump in. The duodenum and the ileum are the 2 longest parts. The ileum is where we have the majority of absorption, and this is a Peyer's patch. Peyer's patch is a part of the gall-associated lymphatic tissue. The gut-associated lymphatic tissue. Also, there's one other word for it, intestinal. So here on the submucosa, we have all of our lymphatics, our lacteals, as well as our arteries and veins. And then over here, we have our intestinal gland, and we have a closer look at these over here in our intestinal crypts, which we'll talk about in a moment. So this is a gland, and this is the bottom of the intestinal crypt. Here we have the muscularis externa, and again we have our 2 layers of muscular tissue, smooth muscle. We have a circular smooth muscle. This is not staying. We have a circular smooth muscle that comes out and around because this is essentially a tube. And then we have this layer, which is longitudinal and goes this way. So we both squeeze this way as we move the chyme, which that's what it is at this point, so that it can contact all the villi and microvilli, which is these, that's what these are, so that we can increase the surface area, so that we can maximize absorption of nutrients. And then also, so we can squeeze this way, it goes longitudinally, so we can move the food down through the various portions of the intestine and into the large intestine. So, and then on the bottom, we have the serosa and the adventitia, and this is the connective tissue. And we'll see this very clearly over there in the mesenteries. Your intestines kind of just hang. Your mesenteries are connective tissue that allow your intestines to hang kind of like an apron. They just sit there. So that is model number 1.